What happened that day when you were working in the missile silo?
Oh, oh man. This is 1958. I don't care if the government coming in and shot me right now. In 1950, when I went to service, I have basic training. I didn't do that much in basic training because of my heart and stuff like that. So I don't spend my. I never used the bayonet and rifles and machine guns and hand grenades. I don't know what that crap was. I never did that. So anyhow, they sent my first thing. They sent me to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I was what they call a spotter. And the missiles and stuff. You have sites all over this country. A lot of folks don't know it. I do, and I know where some of them are. And missile sites, because I was in operations, and in operations we were down low, and they had great big iron wired thing over us, and we couldn't go out once we come into duty. Our assignment, its gates locked automatically, and it's completely covered with gate wire all over us, hard wire, metal, and everything was like electrified once we got inside. All the metals and everything. And what we did in operations, so you have sites all over this country, missile sites, and they have bases, and they track everything that comes in the sky. They track whales in the ocean and dolphins in the ocean, everything tracked. And this was in 57, 58, late 57. So it's tracked, and they would say track. And when we were on duty, we had a little small team, about 20 of us, about track. And we'd see it on this great big old glass board, almost half the size of this room. And it would show what's in the air, and this is called azimuth zones. This jet, this plane, that plane, helicopter, and it's from all over the country. All kinds of planes, but we know what's flying where, because they all had their own lanes, like highway, that they can fly in. And the TWA here and the other, everything, helicopters, their helicopters, Army helicopters, whatever. And it's tracked. And they'd say track, and anything strange come in, they track it. And well, we knew that, and I'd be on duty with my space sitting there, and I had the earplugs in, and they'd come from every place, from Michigan and all. We had that area, the whole eastern area, and they would break into something different they see, and this one's telling me about what they saw. Then the other one break in. They had names. We had to learn alpha, beta, and we know all that. So we had to learn all those alphabets and stuff. And they break in. We had a code. Means this is more important. And I'd hear that code number, code name, and then this other guy would get off, because his was not that important, and he thought it was. And this one was, they had the code names and call in, and then that's the one that they listened to. Just like in that movie, the Third Kind, they're sitting there listening. Okay, that's it. He breaks in and knocks everyone else out. And we sitting there, not me, but the guy, I was sitting in operations. I'm the one that tells them what to call. And they call it the Strategic Air Command, ST, whatever it was. And I tell them whether or not they should send up planes, to intercept.
Right.
So where is that? And I don't know if it come from Michigan, somewhere in our area. And I was in Pennsylvania. But anyhow, they broke in. I'll never forget that. They broke in and said, track, such and such, and then give the name of the code, which means this is some serious shit. And the other guy get off. No matter what his important thing was, this guy, he wouldn't break it up unless it was something that he knew was more important than what this one. Anyhow, that came in, track, something, give the code name, and he got off. And man, something came in 1958. I'll never forget it, son. It was the speed known then. Nothing was flying 2,000 miles an hour. Not in 58.
Right.
Nothing.
Wow.
This thing was over 2,000 miles an hour, and they tracked it. It didn't go, what you call up, like a plane. It was coming this way. Now, Walton, that this man's a scientist. He has a doctorate and all that wall, right, sitting right there. So they know damn right something came in here that was faster than anything that they knew of. Yeah. Man, and they were tracking this crap. And then all of them got on. Then after that, man, the whole country lit up. And they was tracking this shit, and they were calling in track from North Carolina and South Carolina, Florida, and everybody, because whatever it was traveling at a speed faster
so it's safe to say that it was not of this planet's origin.
I'll tell you how much the fact it wasn't, because what had happened, see, they can track it. And they can track whales in the ocean, man. They can track butterflies in the sky. And this was in 58. Right. So you know what's going on now. So shit, whatever they were tracking was moving so fast that we didn't come across. It was moving that they knew that it was no meteorite or asteroid falling. This shit knew where it was going. What? You follow me?
Right.
And that was the whole country. Lights were coming up, everything. And the captain that was in charge, he came, and then the colonel came in. Boy, you know, because they come through security, you know, and you have to come to that gate, and people have to know who you are before they push the buzzer and let you in. It's really some shit. And it's secret stuff. I was top secret. You know, that's my declaration in the Army, top secret shit. Man, that thing lit up. The board was lighting up all. It came on its own when something like that happened, you know. The board lit up, man, and they were tracking this damn thing.
So it's safe to say, if somebody says UFOs don't exist,
this shit,
you could tell them that you had whatever you were tracking.
I tell you what happened. The red phone came on, and the red phone in there was like, it never comes on unless it's coming from Washington, which means the president, and that phone ring like it's jumping off the damn hook, man. And the colonel and then they got down, and I was sitting there, you know, at the board waiting to see what I have to do, and then the whole crew got in there, our 20 crew, all of them for night, day, and week shift. Every shift was in there, came in there, and boy, and I'm sitting there with the phones on because I'm sitting right there, you know, and that shit, and then the guy was telling track such and such, went this way, and the damn thing went up. It came down and went up. Listen. There's very few meteorites to come down. I mean, I don't know. I'm not that intelligent. But it came down and just went up, man. And listen, these Caucasians, not the only black, these Caucasians, their eyeballs almost popped out. Man, let me tell you, that thing was going so fast. And then the captain, he said, this is declared top secret, not to be even discussed amongst yourself. And it was going over 2,000 miles an hour. And what happens is this, if it comes slower, you know, they have what they call an M2 missile in those days. Mm-hmm. And what happened is they lock on. See, whatever comes in the sky, and they don't like it, they lock on. The M2 missile locks on. So that they wait till it gets to a place where they think it's safe. Right. Then up comes the missile, boom! No planes can catch them. So the Strategic Air Command, that's what they call it. They couldn't fly that fast to catch it, so they locked it on. And we'd have to say lock on. And so then the missile sites, man, the missile sites in those days, you can be driving down the highway and think there's some cows out there. Even today, that thing would open up, man, and missiles are in there. And looks at right now in this country.
Right. They're all over.
They might come in and shoot me.
No, there's one in Seattle that I was checking out earlier this year.
You can be driving down the field and look over there and see a radio tower, the little old house. That's a radio station. Shit. That thing will open up and the ground comes up stacked over. They had missiles in those days. That's been open 60 years ago. They would open up this country defending something, man. They had missiles and you see a barn and a cow out there, shit, that barn will open up and the cow goes this way.
Right. And so with this, the M2 couldn't track it?
The M2 couldn't track it. It was moving so fast that M2, and man, now you're talking about nucleic energy and capability and missiles. Man, if it can't be tracked, it's got to be moving.
It's not of this planet.
All we knew that it was going more than 2,000 miles an hour. In 58. I don't know many planes that... And I don't know any plane. You help me, Walt. Your physics. Did a plane come down? Is it possible to go back up like that? Would a meteor do that? Will a rock come down and go back?
No.
Would a waterfall come down and go back? Shit.
You said that normally doesn't happen.
Listen, God killed me dead, son. I would never lie to you. That's a fact. Wow. And they said, don't even discuss it. And that was in 58.
Wow.
So maybe I'm discussing it here. I was sitting there looking at the damn screen. Just like in that, what he calls the third kind. I'm looking at that shit, the boop, 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 and the lines. And I knew then, I was younger, shit, that thing, and you couldn't track it. And when you couldn't track it, it moved so fast you couldn't track it. There's no way in the hell they can lock on the missile because it'll lock on and follow until it's ready to blow it up.
Right.
That's the M2. Now they probably have the M.
There's so much out now. The STAD system and all that.
Don't tell me. They have range now.
Right. But they probably, you know, the stuff they got now probably is the 2,000 miles.
I have no idea.